G'day all, welcome back to Dad vs Son and our playthrough of Stalingrad 42, the full campaign, GMT Mark Simonich. I just thought to start this it might be worthwhile to give a general overview again, seeing as we're spread out so bloody far. So just looking from, say, the south to start with, you can see where we have Axis forces starting to spread out down into the Caucasus region, where we're starting to build up our defense of the Tamim area on the peninsula to stop Blucher coming across, and our slow sort of reinforcement of the Caucasus region out to the southeast. So yeah, it's a lot of ground to cover for the Axis forces. Now moving north, as you can see, the build-up around Stalingrad continues. The Soviets are really starting to put a lot of troops down that way. Again, they're not really in a position to push back. They're simply delaying still. Relying on the weather to help them out and all the rest of it, and as more forces become available and the Axis forces slowly get ground down. So there's that, and then to the northwest area, I'll just come over a little bit further. As you can see, this still ends up being a bit of a confused area. We still have this Soviet unit down here that's taken out one of our victory hexes, which we have to try and take back. These forces will continue to probably grow and cause a lot of grief, which is going to siphon off probably more and better troops to try and hold them back. But that's going to leave this area out here awfully exposed for a counterattack to the rear, and maybe cutting their supply lines, which is part of the Soviet plan. It's all well and good to have all the troops over at Stalingrad fighting like all buggery, Axis-wise, but if they get cut off, then they could be in a bit of hurt. I think I'm going to continue to now do these as a German turn and then a an Axis turn and then a Soviet turn, because I think the Soviets are going to start becoming more active as we go on, and we'll go from there. So I'll reposition the camera again like I've had it before. You've had your broad overview of everything, and it's a lot of ground to cover, a lot of forces to take on, and the supply line, as you can see, for the German forces is huge. And the further we push the Russians back, the shorter their supply lines get. So, and the easier it is for them to reinforce. So I'll pause it there, reset it, and then we can get into the German part of turn 17, which is our first in the early autumn, early fall season, where we have to start rolling for weather due to rain. Shan't be long. Rightio, so ready to go again. Again, apologies for the light, apologies for the shadow, but I can't do a great deal about it. So going on with the German turn for turn 7, or the German part of turn 17, and the first thing we have is a weather roll. And we get a 6, so the weather is clear. Yay! We still have our 2 aircraft. Beautiful. Okay, so first things, well, next thing now is we get our 2 aircraft as usual. I'll just chuck them up here, ready to go. No air units. Remove train markers, and we have one here and one here, and we have one up to the northwest. So they have been removed. We have no fortifications under construction. Our 2 resource points. Now, first off, what I want to do is that one is there. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. So I'm going to turn that one into already. Oh, I don't have any resources to put out at the moment. Ooga chaka. Okay. Dum dum dum. Do I start to fortify? Okay. So here's a thought. Until I can get some of these done, I can't even convert them at the moment, the resources to supply dumps at the moment. So what I'm thinking, which is a dangerous thing for me to do, I know, is I might just build a couple of fortresses along here to help with this incursion, and see how we go with that. Now, I know that the Fuhrer shall not be happy with that. However, I think he's going to be less happy if we continue to lose places. So I'm going to build a fortress here, like that. And I'm going to start to build a fortress here, like that. In fact, I'll leave it on top for the moment. So that's our 2 supply points done. Spend is used to flip, and we have one here for 2nd Hungarian, which, yay, gives me a supply back. So I'll chuck that back down there for next turn. I don't think I have any over here. I've got these 2 here. I've got this one here. I don't have one there yet, which means I come down here and I've got one for 17 Army. So he can flip, and that'll give me my 2 supply for next time as well. So that's good. Axis reinforcements. Now this time, we're on turn 17. We get 1, which is a Romanian infantry, and that'll come on up north, and we will probably train that on from sort of the Kharkov region. And the big trouble is that we have to remove any one infantry division, but it was historically the 95th, and I'm pretty sure the 95th is up here somewhere. There it is. So again, we continue to lose forces, so the 95th Infantry Division is gone. So now we have lost 2 full infantry divisions. We have lost a full Panzer Division, a full Panzer Grenadier Division, the SS 1st Recon Force, and we have lost a reduced Panzer Division as well, due to redeployment. So a pain in the bottom. So that's our only reinforcements. Now replacements for this turn, we get a Romanian and 1 infantry. Okay. So a Romanian, they're Hungarians, Romanians. I think what we'll look at is this young fella here. Turn him around the right way. and 1 infantry. I'd love to do these blokes, but I need them at the moment. Where else have I got an infantry that needs to be done? Let's have a look over this way, where I can afford to do one. They're all good. They're all good. Is good. Is good. Aha, got one there. Okay, so we'll do this guy. And we'll just chuck him up on top so I know to get him the hell out of Dodge so we can use those other units. Okay, again we have no Axis leaders and we have no planned offensive markers, so we'll be into movement. So I'll pause it there, set her up, and then we can come back again. Won't be long. Rightio, back again. So I know it's hard to believe, but yeah, for some strange reason we've got a lot of movement again. So first thing I want to do is grab this little fella here and move him over 1. Like that. This one is then going to, no, in fact, leave that for a tick. These two here are going to go 1, 2, 3. And this guy will move over 1. And we now have this guy invested. Yay! This guy here is going to move down to here. Like that. Or will he go 1, 2, 3. Like that, sorry. These two here will go 1, 2, 3. 17th Army will come up, half 1, and this mountain unit here will come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we have this mountain unit here, which is going to come down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This mountain unit here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll leave that for a second. These two units here, I'm going to leave him there. I need to put a gravy. Ta-da! And this bloke is going to come 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into there, which will stop them coming into there, and that's a nice little city. Now, these little gentlemen's here, look at that, okay. They're going to come down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're just down in the marsh there where you can't quite see them. Boom. There they are. Okay, so that's all there. Righto. And let's come up to this little centre part here. So we have this unit here, which is going to come half 1, half, well, in fact, just 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 9 to there. Panzer Grenadier unit here is going to go half 1, half 2, half 3, half 4, half 5, half 6, half 7, half 8, half 9 to there. I'll just turn this around this way again. Sorry for the glare. Okie dokie. So this little fella here is going to go 1. This little fella here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And these two here are going to go 1, 2. Like that. Panzer unit here is going to go half 1, half 2, half 3. Can't quite make it. Half 3. Four, 5, 6, just in case he's needed next time. He can always go somewhere else later. Our Romanian infantry being trained. Now, which way can you go? You could go this way, and then he can follow here, and then he can follow all the way up to here, which seems like a pretty damn fair idea. Like there. Right. I'm happy with that so far. Let's move up a little further, and we're looking at this northwestern area here. Okay, so down in here, this bloke is going to just move. Now, I believe he can move here because we have 1, 2 rivers. Now, I may be wrong. I'm not sure, but I'm taking that as 2 rivers, so there's no Zoc bond, so he's just simply going Zoc to Zoc. This bloke is then going to move down 1 to there. This bloke is going to go 1, 2, 3, and second Hungarian is going to move up with him. This guy here is going to go 1, 2. And this guy is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and help him out. So now we have a Zoc bond here, so these guys can't escape. We have a Zoc bond here, so these guys can't escape. He can go to there, but he can't cross that Zoc bond, sort of thing. So what we've done effectively now is isolated these guys so they can't just run off the board when they get hit. And I like that idea for some stupid reason. Okay, so next thing to do is this group here is going to go up there. I'll just swap that around so it actually stands out that it's a stack of 3 with a free stacking unit. These guys are going to move up to here, like this. These guys will move up to here, forming our Zoc bond again. And then we are free to move these units here. And this one is going to go 1, 2, 3. This unit is going to go 1 to there. I'm simply going to bring Second Army up to here like that. This fella will go 1. This fella here will go 1, 2. This guy's just going to move forward 1. This guy's going to move forward 1. So again, we have our Zoc bonds. Just to stop these skipping over this way and causing more bloody trouble. The replacement unit is going to come up 1 like that. This infantry unit will come up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. This unit is going to go 1, it doesn't really matter, 1, 2 to there. This unit will go 1, 2 to there, So we have a Zockbond here, a Zockbond there, a Zockbond there, and he's coming across to there, like that. So we can hopefully do a little bit of damage in here, maybe some damage in here, but we can follow up with that later. Righto, moving up towards here. We need to start causing a bit of trouble up here as well. Give them something to think about. So these two units here are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This little fella here will follow up with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's there, I think. The maps have slightly moved, so they're a little bit out of wonk. And these three little gentlemen here are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just to stop him coming down this way, and we can start to invest this area and get something done there. And then we're down to this. I'm just moving around the other side of the table. It'll take a little while. Okay, so down here what I've left is a dangerous sort of opening. So this fella here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 at the moment. Is that right? No. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't get him in there. This fella's just going to move over 1. So we have a Zockbond, and now we have a Zockbond. I can, once I bring this fella up into here, then I can bring this fella back and stuff like that. But that'd still leave this an opening. So this one, oops, sorry. This one here has to move down 1 to keep things going. And again, we go 1, 2. We go 1, 2, 3. So again, we just continue our Zockbonds. And this one will go 1, 2, 3. I don't want to bring him up too much further without support. Well, let's go 3, 4, 5, 6. Because we have this little gentleman can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have this one here is going to come up half 1, half 2, half 3, half 4, half 5, half 6 to help up that way. Okay, get rid of those. Righto, so the rest of these German forces here. So this stack here is just going to slide 1. And the same as this stack here, sliding 1. This stack here, sliding 1. And this stack here, sliding over to there. Our replacement here is going to slip back 1 so that we still can use this stuff here. This supply is now ready, and these two goes half 1 up to there. Now that can then become a supply dump. So we're going to just turn that into a supply dump of 2 now, like that, which frees up some more supplies for me for next turn. Excuse me. Now, what was I doing here? Ah, that's right. I'm moving this unit back. So here we'll go 3, 4 into here with this unit, and I'm bringing this little fella forward, and he's going to go here and then here. So again, we maintain our Zockbonds, but we now have our better attacking forces forward and protecting our reduced forces. And I forgot to move one fella by the looks of it. Apologies. Oh no, I didn't. Sorry. That's him. He's in a victory hex. Okay, so that's our movement. So as you can see, we've got a chance of taking out some more of this stuff in here. We've blocked this stuff off from coming back this way at the moment to give us a hard time. We're starting to invest up in this way, continuing our assault up in this direction and trying to take out some of this stuff before these other buggers come on and give us more of a hard time. Try and take this victory hex back this turn. Try and take these buggers out. They've got nowhere to go now because we've got our Azok bond across there, so that's good. Take this out as well, and we continue to move troops down, especially our mountain troops. Try and get them down into the mountains and so forth. My idea being is to try and pick up one very easy victory point, which is Mount Elbrus here. So if I can get this mountain unit down there, take that out, you know, it's relatively difficult for the Soviets to come back and take it, except with this mountain unit here. But I can start to move up and around and give them a hard time from the mountains as well. So that's the cunning plan. If my name was Baldric, it'd probably work. So I will now do the usual mess up, screw up, and all the rest of it. Oh, in fact, speaking of screw ups, it's been pointed out to me that in one of the other combats I screwed up in that I had a free stacking unit by itself, which does not have a zone of control, which I used to isolate another unit. My apologies. So that unit wouldn't have been isolated. It would have been able to do a determined defense or whatever the case may be, rather than having to do a desperation defense. So I'll try to remember that in future. Thank you very much for having that pointed out to me. Righto, so combat, set it up, come on back, and let's see the fur fly. Won't be long. Oakley dokley. Back again. So we have two attacks down this way. First one I'm going to do is this one here. It's 4-1. Using, again, no visible means of support. 4-1 for a 5. Here's a D1 advance 3. Okay. So, again, as per usual, we'll take this bugger. Like that. Okay. Get rid of those. Now, he is totally cut off. We've got a Zok bond here, so he can't do a determined defense. He's going to have to do a desperation defense. So he's in the clear. He's at a -1 for the CRT. He's got no support at all. So it's a -1 for a desperation defense. And he gets 5, which is a success, but it goes down to a 4, which is a fail with a loss. So he loses 1. That's gone. And he has to go again. And he's gone. No questions asked. Okay, now we have an advance 3 there. Okay, so these guys here are just going to go 1, 2. And these guys will go 1, 2. And these guys will go 1, 2. Like that as well. Simple. Simples. Righto. Over here, we've got these 3 stacks here attacking into here. We're not using support for it. It's a 4-1. For 2. Which is a DR2 advance 2. So again, this bloke can't go anywhere because of the Zoc bonds. So he's going to do a desperation defense. He is just in a rail crossing, which is still a town because it's the yellow bit, which means he's in other. For a desperation in other with no pluses or minuses, and gets a 3, which is a fail and lose 1. So we go again, and he gets a 5 in that, which is a success and lose 1. So he's gone. That stays there. We don't get any advance. They're gone. That's gone. But at least we took him out. Not exactly what I wanted, but better than nothing. Right, let's move up to here. Again, apologies for the light in here. Okay, so we're straight into here using these 3 against this little fella in here. It's a 6-to-1 straight up. It would have been a 7-to-1, except we don't have an armor. So his armor bonus has brought it down. I can live with that. 6-to-1 for a 1 is a DRX advance 2. Okay, so he's gone. Straight out. We'll take the loss there. Like that. Get rid of that. And we have our advance 2. Okay, so I'm going to advance this guy into there. That gives us our victory point back. We're now up to 12, which means we can now go up to turn 21, which is the first of the mud turns. Okay, get rid of those. Advance 2. I think I need to keep these gentlemen together at the moment, so he's just going to go into there as well. And then these 2 here are going to simply go 1, 2. Right. Come up this way. And we've got 3 attacks up this way. I'll just pull it back a bit so I can get the die roll in there. Okay, I think the first one we're going to do is this one here. So it's these 3 against this little gentleman who is cut off by Zoc bonds. So we have a 5-to-1 for a 3. This is an A1D1 advance 2. So he's gone. A1. We'll take him. Like that. And we have an advance 2. Now, there's 10 there. I'm going to advance this guy to the rear. And these guys are going to go into there like that. That way we've still got, we don't have a Zoc bond here, but we've got a zone and we've got a zone. And then we're still bringing a little bit of grief down on him next time. Okay, now we have these 2 stacks coming across this minor river into here using air and also using second Hungarian. And that only still gives us a 3-to-1. For a 5, use an A1D1 advance 2. Okay. So he loses 1. What have we got here? Really don't want to lose anything there. This is awfully dangerous, but I'm going to do that anyway. we'll lose that there. That's our A1D1. Okay, we have a Zoc bond here. We have a Zoc bond here and here. So he's looking at a desperation defense. He's in the open with a -1. So a 3 in the clear, again, is a failure with a loss of 1. So he's gone. And we have our advance 2. So I'm actually going to advance this guy over to here, just to hopefully protect him a little bit. Then what I'm going to do with these guys is I'm going to advance him into there to give him a bit of support. This infantry will come into here. This infantry will come into here. And this infantry will go 1, 2, like that, with him on top. That leaves these two to go where they wish. I'm not doing another attack here, so that air is gone. And these two can advance 2. They've got 11, and there's 5 there. Okay, let's do this. We're going to go 1, and we have 11 to 5, which is a 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. I think so. 4 to 1. Let's see if we can take that out, or hurt it at least. Oh, sorry about the bump. That's a DR2 advance 2. Okay, so he doesn't want to go anywhere, so he's going to do a determined defense in a town, which gives him other, with no pluses and no minuses. And he gets a 4, which is a fail with a loss of 1. So he's going to take it on that one. And then he has to retreat. And he is going to retreat off screen. And we cannot advance into there this turn because we only had an advance 2. See, I do remember sometimes. Not very often, I know, but I do remember sometimes. So that's not too bad. We've taken out 1 unit down here. We've taken out this unit here. We've taken out a unit there and pushed him off. Mind you, they're probably going to bring somebody straight back onto there again, but at least we've done it. Oh, I've got to mark him as disrupted, like that. And we've taken back that other one that we'd lost. Speaking of which, put our little grey cube on it so I remember. Okie doke. So then we've got this one up here, which is a 3 to 1, utilising these 3 and air. Again, not a great one, but following orders. 3 to 1 for a 3 is a DR2 advance 2. So again, he cannot go this way because of Zoc bond, Zoc bond, Zoc bond. So it becomes a desperation defense. Now, he's in the clear, and he has no pluses or minuses. And he gets a 4, which is a fail and lose 1. And a 2, which is a fail and lose 1. So he'll just lose that one, I think. And a 6, yay, for him, is a success but lose 1, and we lose 1 as well. So we'll take it off on this lower grade unit here. like that. And we go nowhere. But again, you know, we've cut down to from 2 units to a half a unit. So I'm happy with that. Not ecstatic, but happy. Which only leaves us over to out the front of Stalingrad. I'm going to come around the other side just to make it a little bit easier. Oh. I'll have a look first to see where I can shake, rattle and roll the die. Okay, so I can do it on here. Righto, so we've got 3 attacks coming in here. We've got this one, and this one. Now, if I do this the right way to sort of cut off retreats and so forth is what I'm looking at. So I think we're going to do this one first here. And this is a 4-to-1, again, with no visible means of support. And we have a 4, but of course I left the chart over the other side. Hang on a tick. Just as well my head is screwed on tight, or else I'd probably lose it somewhere. Okay, so we have 4-to-1. For a 4 is an A1, D1, advance 2. Okay, so we'll lose this unit to leave this unit. Where can he go? Get rid of those, over to there. Okay, so he can retreat back this way, and he can retreat back this way. So he does have a retreat. He has a -1 for the CRT, but he has a +1 for being an elite unit. So therefore, he's at equal in the open. Oh, for a 6. There's a 1-1. Okay, so he's gone anyway. But we lose 1, so it's going to have to be off here. I can't afford to. Well, I suppose no, I don't want a remnant there. Simple as that. So that's good. And we have an advance 2. Now we've got 7, 11. They've got 7. That'd be a 1-to-1, be a 2-to-1 at max. Okay, well, I don't want to leave an opening through here. So I'm just going to move this guy up. So we still have our Zoc bond here. And now we've got a zone of control sort of thing to try and cut off too many retreats or anything else. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to do this one here, which is at a 4-to-1, which is straight into this little unit here. For a 6, 4-to-1 is a D1. So he's gone. Advance 3. Okay. And I don't believe we can advance because we have this Zoc bond here. So that's fine. I'm happy with that. Which leaves this final one here where we're using support from 6 Army against these units here at a 5-to-1. For a 3 is an A1, D1, advance 2. So both the same. So there's the D1. I think we'll look over this way and take this one. That's the A1. Again, we have a Zoc bond, a Zoc bond, and a Zoc bond. So he's looking at a desperation defense. He could come this way, but then he can't go there, so he can't get out. So it's a desperation defense. He's in the clear. He's at a -1 on the CRT. So that's that. So he's at a -1 straight up. So a 4 becomes a 3, which is a fail and lose 1. So that one's gone. Another 4 becoming a 3. So he loses another 1. Apologies. Yeah. Ah! Let's just leave that up there. And last, a 3 becoming a 2, and he loses 1. So he's all gone. We had an advance 2. Right, so these guys here are going to advance up to here. Now that gives us 3, 9, 17. I don't have anything. Well, in fact, let's leave him there. We've come into here, so we've formed a group, which we're allowed. So that's 6, 12, 20 to 10, which is a 2 to 1, which goes down to a 1 to 1. But then we go 2 to 1, 3 to 1 for the tank bonus and the elite tanks bonus. So we have a 3 to 1, which we're going to come into here. And we get a 4 is an A1, D1 advance 2. Okay, so there's the D1. Just leave that to the side at the moment. There's the A1. Advance 2, so he has to go back. Again, Zockbond, nowhere to go. So he is going to do a desperation defense. And he's at a +1 for that, being elite. Do we want to give him support? Why don't we? Let's give him a support. So we're going to cut down their supply there to 1. And he is now at a +2. Oh, look at that. Which is greater than a 7, which is safe with... Now, that becomes still a 1 loss because it's a desperation defense. So I think he's going to go that way. That gives him a little bit more like that. But he's safe, so he's not going anywhere, and we don't have to keep playing silly buggers. So again, not too bad. We've taken out a few units here. We've contracted it down a little bit more. We're starting to bring more in. There's quite a lot of support for the Ruskies up here, the Soviets. We're holding their line here. So, yeah, look, realistically, that's not a bad go. So, we'll go through our recovery phase. So, our replacement can come off here, like that. Let me just get back to my thingo. I'll just look down around and see what else I've got. So I've got that replacement. I've got the other replacement of the Romanian unit. Hang on, yeah, it was Romanian unit. I don't have any disrupted. No. I don't have any else I need to worry about there, so that's good. So just chuck those replacement counters over there. Okay, railhead markers. So again, up here we don't have anything. Can't go anywhere at the moment. Just pull this down like this. This fella's not going anywhere. We have one here who can't really move into there. So again, that one's fine. We've got this one here, which can go 1, 2. So he's nearly there. We have that one going nowhere. We have this one here going 1, 2, which is wonderful. And then down, trying not to knock counters over with the power cord. We have this one coming down 1, 2 to here, and this one coming down 1, 2 to here. And that's that. Okay, supply status of Axis units. Okay, so this guy can go through 1 and out, so these ones are all fine here. Again, through 1 and out, so all these are fine. All these are fine. Looking to the north, they're good. Everything up there is good. Yeah, we've got no hassles at all. At all. Isolation attrition for us, no. Spend SPs to flip good order units. Okay, so 6th Army can go down to 1 supply and flip. So that's good. I don't have 1 for 1 Panzer yet. That's what I wanted to bring this one around for. That one's good. That one's good. Don't wave 1 for 2nd Army or 4 Panzer at the moment. Or for 2nd Hungarian. So no, that's it. Okay. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is. Righto, so that's it for the Axis turn. And when we come back, we'll have a look at the Russians. So just to give you a broad overview again. In fact, I don't need to. We'll just go at the start of each turn. I'll give you a broad overview if need be. The rest of the time, we'll just do it bit by bit. So thank you once again. And I will see you for the Soviet turn in the next video. Bye for now.